Welcome back, everyone. So, what I'm going to do now for the second half is I'm going to take you through this 10-minute grammar point and some more grammar terms. So, here I would like to take you through the building blocks of a sentence. So, here we have I ride my bike. So, what I'd like to do is to break down the way in which this very simple sentence is put together. So, ride is the verb, and it's what we commonly call a doing word. It's the activity that you are doing. I ride. And then bike is called a noun because it's the name of something. So, chair, table, keyboard, things like that, they're nouns because it's the name of something. So then if you add in a descriptor of some kind, I ride a blue bike, it goes before the noun in this particular case. What does the word blue tell us about? Blue tells us about my bike and it describes a noun which equals an adjective. So adjectives usually come before the nouns. So, what if we are to add a little bit more descriptive information to that sentence? I ride a beautiful old bike. I ride a blue old beautiful bike. So, what is the order of adjectives before nouns? So, if we look at the example down here, a small shiny black leather handbag is obviously the correct arrangement rather than a leather black shiny small handbag. So we're looking at the way in which these things flow together. For native English speakers, I suppose part of this is the way you're used to hearing particular combinations. But typically, what I would like you to take from this is the idea of that verb, an adjective, and of course the noun as well. So let's have a look at the order of adjectives. So complicated rules about adjective order and different grammar books often differ slightly. So there's one rule, so color, origin, material, purpose, and noun. So brown, Italian, leather, riding, boots. So this, if you break down sentence structure, this is the rule. So you might even want to pause this or take a screenshot of this. Color, origin, material, purpose, and noun. So then we have another variation. I ride my old blue bike slowly. What is slowly referring to? How I go about riding my bike. It's describing the verb, therefore it's an adverb. So adverbs usually end in ly. So because it's describing the verb, um, it's that ly adverb positioning. I ride my old blue bike slowly. So comparing adjectives and adverbs, I ride a slow bike or I ride my bike slowly. You can see that they're very similar in what they're saying, but they're different in terms of the position of the words. Question time. So, at this point, obviously, in the lecture, as I'm going to be giving this lecture next week, I will take questions from students in my lecture. For distance students, I would invite you to jump onto your discussion board and to really talk to other students and talk to Fiona Redgrove, your distance tutor, about any questions that you have, particularly pertaining to the assignment that's due on Friday. Um, Really, when you're a distance student, I would strongly encourage you to write on discussion boards and to ask questions as much as you possibly can, because being a distance student can be quite an isolating experience, and we don't want you to feel isolated. So, what I would recommend that you do is if you've got any issues with your essay, or if you've um, just a question about one of the processes or how to submit to Milo, that's a really good thing to be putting on the discussion board. So what I would like to end with is just a reminder to check your UTAS webmail regularly because we email everything to you guys through your UTAS webmail. Um, I would invite you to check your UPP enrollments. If your UPP enrollment is not correct, you'll probably have an email about it at this stage in the semester, but really good to check through eStudent as well, because when you go onto your degree, you'll have to know how to do that yourself. Um, the SA1, all information is on Milo, and we've looked at it in week 2 and week 3 and the week 3 tute as well. And of course, we have tutorials this week also. Okay, so what are your independent tasks and learning for the week? So I would invite you to reread your notes from today's class. I would invite you to practice thinking critically about things that you see on TV as well. And it doesn't have to be the news, although that's maybe a good place to start. But start thinking critically about things that you watch, things that you read. And that will be a good way to develop your own thinking over the next couple of weeks. Um, so write down the most important messages you took from today, and of course, complete and submit your first essay. So one note I would like to make about the essay and the submission um, is that the essay is going to have a word limit of 600 words. I would invite you to have a really clear essay structure and to really think about the language that you're using, because what we would like you to do is to use academic language and an academic tone, which is different from the way we talk day to day. So if you've got any questions on that, you can ask, but those are certainly the things that you will be marked on when your essays come in. So, with your essay, make sure that you've got a nice, clear structure. Make sure that you have very clear topic and concluding sentences. Make sure that there is evidence in your supporting sentences, evidence, details, examples, so on and so forth. Make sure your introduction introduces your ideas very clearly. And make sure your conclusion does the same, except rounding up your ideas. So I would invite you also to edit your work several times. If you throw it in a couple of minutes before it's due and you haven't had time to edit it, it's maybe not going to be of the same quality that it would be if you'd taken some time to really reread it a lot. And the other thing I would suggest you do is read the Dweck or the Langer article as many times as you can. Um, the more you read it, the more you will see in it, the easier it's going to be to understand. So I would encourage you to read that as much as possible. So, with that, have a wonderful week, everyone, and I will talk to you soon.